U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he will likely meet with Volodymyr Zelenskyy next week. Trump made the statement during a briefing with Prime Minister of Japan, Shigeru Ishiba. According to the American leader, the main topics of discussion will be ending the war and access to Ukraine's mineral resources.
I will probably be meeting with President Zelenskyy next week, and I will probably be talking to President Putin about ending the war against Ukraine because too many people are dying. Millions of civilians are being lost in this conflict. One of the things we're looking at with President Zelenskyy is having the security of their assets. They have assets underground, rare earth and other things, but primarily rare earth. In reality, we want to ensure security. Donald Trump, President of the United States.
According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, about half of Ukraine's rare earth metal reserves are located in territories currently occupied by Russia. Zelenskyy pointed out that Kremlin dictator Vladimir Putin is spending $300 to $350 billion annually on the war. His primary goal is to seize Ukraine's resources, including rare earth minerals. Moscow is determined to take control of these valuable resources and grant access to its allied regimes, including North Korea and Iran. Putin could use these minerals to prepare for new wars. This is why Kyiv is offering its partners mutually beneficial cooperation, and the U.S. should be given priority access to the resources.
We have mineral resources, but that does not mean that we are handing them over to anyone, even our strategic partners. It's about partnership. Invest your money. Bring in investments. Let's develop together. Let's generate revenue. Most importantly, this is about the security of the Western world and the European continent. These burglars, Russia and its allies, won't get their hands on everything. Look at the Dnipro and Donetsk regions, marked in pink. These are the areas they have partially seized. They are incredibly valuable because of their rare earth deposits. That is why they keep insisting on taking Zaporizhzhia and the entirety of Donetsk. This is Ukraine's iron ore basin, located in the Dnipropetrovsk region. That is why they are so desperate to seize it and will not stop.
Direct communication with the new administration of the U.S. is very important for developing a unified stance on achieving a just peace. During his upcoming meeting with Donald Trump, Volodymyr Zelenskyy primarily wants to discuss security guarantees. The Ukrainian president made this clear in an interview with Reuters, adding that he considers it essential to meet with Trump before the American leader engages in any dialogue with the Russian dictator. Zelenskyy believes that a ceasefire without security guarantees will only worsen the threat posed by Russia.
This is extremely important. Otherwise, it will look like a discussion about Ukraine without Ukraine. It is crucial that our partners first align their positions before engaging in talks with the enemy. I don't know what kind of compromises can be discussed at the negotiation table. We are not at that stage yet. What matters is that people understand Ukraine is negotiating. We are not accepting ultimatums from Russia. Security guarantees are the key issue I want to discuss with Trump, and the future depends on the economy, where we stand, what we represent, ensuring that people earn more and that professionals can build better lives.
Putin is not preparing for negotiations or peace. He is preparing to continue the war, Zelenskyy has warned. According to the Ukrainian president, Russia is currently expanding its military by more than 100,000 servicemen. He also noted that Russian forces are forming new divisions and increasing military production. This is why support for Ukraine must continue to withstand Russian aggression, which has the potential to engulf the entire world. Reported by Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.
U.S. President Donald Trump has tasked his special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, Kate Kellogg, with ending the war within 100 days. Trump has repeatedly expressed his willingness to talk to Putin and has vowed to intensify sanctions if the Kremlin refuses peace negotiations. However, experts believe Moscow has yet to decide how to approach the new U.S. administration.
The Russian side's position is quite clear. They are trying to appeal to Trump by mimicking his rhetoric. rhetoric. We heard Putin's statement, but a key marker here is Russian propaganda itself. At first, they fiercely criticized Trump after his ultimatum to Putin, launching a wave of attacks against him, but then suddenly the order came from above, switch tactics and start praising Trump instead. It's quite comical, and it shows that Moscow still has no clear strategy on how to deal with Trump directly.
President Volodymyr Zelenskyy considers the US president's strategy effective. In an interview with Italian journalist Cecilia Sala for Il Foglio, Zelenskyy stated that while he is not yet familiar with all the details of Trump's peace plan, the messages Trump is promoting are already having an impact.
A lot depends on what happens on our side and how just the peace we can achieve will be. But does Putin even want to end the war? In my opinion, he does not. And I think Trump understands all these challenges. He's simply saying that this needs to end because things will only get worse. Right now, I appreciate his approach.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin is trying to create the illusion that it is Ukraine that refuses negotiations. On January 28th, Putin once again claimed that Zelenskyy was supposedly unable to negotiate because his 5-year term had allegedly expired. In response, the Ukrainian leader stated that Putin is simply attempting to prolong the war.
Putin is doing everything to either continue large-scale killings instead of peace or to secure a pause in order to launch new hybrid attacks and prepare for another full-scale invasion. This is why we must act decisively and in unity, all those who have the courage to believe in peace and bring it closer through strength. A real peace is possible only if Russia is forced into it. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, president of Ukraine, on Telegram.
For nearly a year, the Kremlin has been pushing the narrative of Zelenskyy's so-called illegitimacy. President Zelenskyy's term officially ended on May 20, 2024, but Ukraine's constitution prohibits elections during martial law. The chairman of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, Ruslan Stefanchuk, has previously explained that under Ukraine's fundamental law, the president continues to fulfill his duties until a newly elected head of state takes office. Reported by Sergei Kulas, Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.